All right, welcome back to another episode of Long Time Good Time. I'm your co-host Terry, along with my co-host Abrisha.
You.
All right, so we're gonna jump into it. We're gonna start off talking about young Druski and the quote unquote controversy going on. Basically he did a skit. And by the way, I don't know if this is right, but everybody says sketch. And I it makes me cringe. I'm like, it's skit. Sketch is something you draw, but I don't know. Maybe sketch comedy is also.
Yeah, I think that's probably referring to sketch comedy. Yeah,
But isn't it? Is that what it is? That actual? Is that what it's actually called, or is it one of those things people just? Okay, anyway.
they're interchangeable, but yeah, but technically,
Okay.
technically, a sketch is filmed, a skit is on stage, technically, but people use them interchangeably now that everything is so tech and we're just all online. So, but yeah.
All right, maybe I'm wrong then. My bad. Anyway, Druski did a video content thing where he was making fun of mega church pastors and how they want money, and the internet kind of just well, now I would say the internet, really the church community had a backlash about the whole thing. And I would just say this, like, if you didn't see it, obviously go see it. But I was really surprised because I saw the YouTube short and I thought that was like a clip and like, or edited version. And then I come to find out that was the whole thing. And I'm like,
Right.
I thought like the way I'm talking,
They were really up in
everybody
arms.
was talking
Yeah.
about it. Not even to say everybody was mad, but like, you know how it is. If something reaches your sphere of content that you don't usually hear about, you like, oh, it must be real big. So it was popping up everywhere that I watched stuff. And I was like, okay, I watched it and I was like, okay, I wonder what the full thing is. Couldn't find it. Found out the short is the full thing. I'm like, this 2 minutes is what everybody up in arms about. So what was your reaction and your thoughts?
Let's just call it spade a spade. Like, the craziest thing about it was I loved whoever took the time to make a compilation of the actual pastors that did the things that Druski was referring to in his skit. I mean, y'all love to be Bible thumpers. I don't understand. I'm a religious person too, but y'all love to make idols of y'all's pastors, and y'all do let them get away with this nonsense. And then you get mad when somebody calls it out. Some of the stuff that goes on in these churches is absolutely insane. It's at this point, it's blaspheming. And if you are going to let it happen, if you're going to allow it to happen, then you should be able to joke about it as well. So I didn't understand the folks who were like mad about it, because I feel like there's this secret society of like, if you're not affiliated with a church, or like if church is not the personality that you wear every day, then you can't make fun of church. Because Druski didn't do anything different than what Tyler Perry does, than what like not Carlton Banks does. Like all these people who consider themselves church folk, Tyler Allen or whoever who might, address these different what it was like to be raised in a church and kind of make, fun of the things that they saw or witnessed and stuff like that. What was the difference between them and Druski? I didn't see any difference. I chuckled, laughed, was like, yeah, some of these pastors be wilding, and I went on about my day. I didn't think it was going to be this big of a blow up either.
Yeah, and like I said, I saw it afterwards, so I definitely thought it was not that. I thought it was funny, and the intro is fire. I'm not gonna lie, I've been going back to that every now and then. I was like, that's kind of the little remix they did with the gospel. I was like, okay. But anyway, yeah. So I felt like there's so much content, like you said, that's making fun of church, especially mega churches.
Yeah.
Like you had mentioned in the group chat, Honk for Jesus, but
oh yeah, with Sterling K. Brown and Regina Hall, yeah.
Like giving people a little history. You go back to a Steve Martin movie called Leap of Faith. I remember watching that a lot growing up.
I forgot about that one. Yeah.
To even know what a mega church was and In Living Color made fun of Joel Osteen and all them people. Like, there's tons of movies, there's TV show episodes,
There's sketches on SNL and Mad TV. Like, this is not a new topic.
And I was listening to Kev on Stage talk about it, and they was like, if you think that was bad, they better not ever mess around and find Righteous Gemstones, which is a popular show on HBO. And I know of it. I never watched it, but it's really popular. It's a huge parody of mega churches with Danny McBride, like the people from Superbad, and John Goodman.
Oh Lord, I would love to see that.
Yeah, so they said it's on like 4 or 5 seasons, and they said they like, it's terrible. They said they go overboard. So
my only beef with it was the people who are like gaslighting everybody in the conversation, like these things don't happen. I know for a fact that there's a church, I forget which one it is, in Chicago, that's basically a for-profit ministry. Like, you literally can only attend the church if you donate a certain amount of money. Like, it's literally, people just go there for the status of being able to say, I go to this church, and everybody knows that if you're in this church, you've literally given at least $5,000, or you know, whatever it is. Like, they have tiers of, giving, and people are, it's just basically a upper middle, upper class church for wealthy people to convene and throw their money around. But it's supposed to be a church. So I'm like, stop acting like these things don't happen. Like, stop acting like all of these pastors got the oil, like the people like to say. There's going to be some people who are just in the church hiding in disguise. We see it day in and day out, and people calling it out. I don't have an issue with it. People making fun of it, I don't have an issue with it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and like you said,
I thought it was funny.
It wasn't even like it wasn't even like a joke about these pastors, though. Like you said, some of these videos show literally everything he did was something from real life. Like, because I don't know these people. I'm not into that church world. So when I saw that he replicated his fit from a real mega church pastor.
Yeah.
Like,
even to the getting on the being hooked on the wires and flying over the church, like all of those things. Yeah. And my favorite comment about this situation was that they said Druski is the greatest sociologist I've ever seen in my life. And as a sociologist myself, I was dead, because honestly, the study of people, he has gotten into trouble with a couple of communities because he was willing to go that far into his characters or his sketches. I mean, he got this much hell when he did the Bubba character, basically, where he was in basically whiteface, acting like a redneck, at the NASCAR and stuff like that. But eventually, even those communities, get off of the horse about it, because they realize once you sit back and watch it and pay attention to it, like, it's legit and it's funny. Like,
it's gonna blow.
There was a guy from that scene, a white guy, real cool musician, who literally looked like Druski's character in real life, and that like helped roll it over, because I believe he was a musician, a pretty popular musician, country guy, and he was like, that might be my twin brother right there, Then all of a sudden everybody wasn't mad no more, because somebody from their community who they revere was like, oh, I'm okay with it. But like, I don't know.
I mean, the internet has short attention span. People be fake mad. But I'll ask you this and then we'll wrap it up. But there are some people that I saw that they're specifically calling it sacrilegious and all that, because he went into an actual church to do this. Now, it's a mega church. It's in the Atlanta area. Some people claim to know which one it is, but nobody's saying. But I saw people like, no, the jokes and all that, like people make jokes, but he literally was in the house of the Lord doing
And
it.
where was the people that he was making fun of when they were doing what they were doing?
I mean, true.
Okay. But no, I mean, at the end of the day, that church decided that whatever amount of money was paid in order to utilize their facilities for that, they found it acceptable. Be mad at the church, don't be mad at him. Somebody took payment for it. Somebody thought it was fine over there. So be mad at the church.
All right.
That ain't gonna be nothing but further proof that these church houses ain't being what they say they is. And then that they never gonna address. So they're gonna keep pointing a finger and just be mad at Druski. And that's okay too, you know. We don't want to warp people's realities, I guess, but somebody accepted his money at the end of the day. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's an excellent point. Excellent point. Is either way you slice it is adding to what we saying. All right, so moving on from Druski, big talk of the town was Teyana Taylor winning the Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actress in one battle after another. Now, this sparked a conversation, which I thought was, well, I was going to say I thought it was weird, but the conversation, I guess it makes sense, because the conversation was all about what wins awards, not what gets nominated. Mm-hmm. Now, I will preface this whole conversation because I'm a Oscar person. Like, I'm into the
you are indeed.
Oscar race.
I can testify to that.
And so I've never understood why, basically, if and I guess I'm getting in front of myself, but if you ever talk about like an agenda when it comes to the awards, I never understand, like, if somebody wanted to do that, like have an agenda, you wouldn't even get nominated. There's only 5 nominations out of every performance in the whole year. It's the same argument I have in football when they be like, oh, this about black quarterbacks, this about black quarterbacks, this, like, the Bears for the longest time, and most Bears fans won't tell you this, they swore up and down we would never have a black quarterback because the owners was racist. They didn't want a black quarterback. I was like, if you're that racist, why would 70% of your team be black? And then they'd be like, oh, well, the quarterback is the most important position, which it is. But I'm just like, still, if you had that much hatred.
I ride the fence on that conversation. I understand spoon feeding or giving small treats, and while someone else is getting a larger reward. So I understand, like, keeping people in their places and giving them a small something to be like, you know, here, nigga, you know. I mean, so I'm on the fence with that, because I do know that is a behavior that you can quite literally see, you know, like, let's just keep them happy, you know.
No, I'm not saying it's not real.
Let's give them one.
That's what the good folks call interest convergence.
Exactly.
But anyway, football is much easier to prove. But even still, I had the same mindset when it comes to the award season. I'm just like, if that was the case, I'm not nominating you. Like, anyway, so basically,
but I think the conversation was it not necessarily like, I know it's about like what get nominated, but I think that I believe that the frustration is not necessarily not that the roles that these people are getting nominated for aren't valid roles to be nominated for. It's that the black folks who always win are like these destitute roles of like peril.
Yeah, I was about to let. I was about to
or some type of humiliation. Some common ones, like, just to list off some so that people understand the conversation that people are coming from. You have like Morgan Freeman in Driving Miss Daisy, where he basically is playing a servant to a whimsical white woman. You have Jamie Foxx and Ray Charles. You have Whoopi Goldberg in The Color Purple as Celie, Jennifer Hudson in Dreamgirls, Sterling K. Brown in This Is Us. You know, there's some pretty good ones. Sidney Poitier back in the day, Lilies of the Field. You know, Halle Berry in Monsters Ball, Audra Day playing Billie Holiday. So it's like, and all that Chadwick has done, the one that he won post, Lord Jesus, my brain can't work, y'all. The one he won after he passed was Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, over all of his like work that he's done. So I think that I think the conversation is not necessarily like that these roles aren't deserving of the nominations they got, but when are the people wanting to see a win from something that we created that's not like a historical or a humiliation role? Basically, like they would love to see like Sinners. They would have loved to see something that's just has nothing to do with like specifically like a specific person in history, or you know, it's not like a biographic film or something like that. They would love to just see something that's just created out of thin air by Black folks being nominated, which we rarely see. So I think that the conversation is being like roped into something that it actually is not. I hear both sides. Like I hear where people are trying to rope it in.
Yeah,
but I don't think that's where it actually lies.
Yeah, I was gonna lay out the landscape. So, pretty much, the whole thing is kind of falls into two categories. There's a lot of people. Well, obviously, there's a third category of people talking about that it didn't deserve to win. Of course, that's always gonna happen. But then you got the main two, which is number one, this role, well, I guess maybe it's kind of the same thing, but basically there's like this character was not a good character and people are kind of critiquing the character. And then there's other people that's critiquing the overall, like you said, it's always these type of roles that people get wins for. And the people that were saying it wasn't a good character, so for people that didn't see one battle after another, I would suggest you go see it. I do happen to think it is a really good movie. Now, for her part, she's not in the movie a lot, and I'm not trying to spoil too much, but she makes bad decisions, number one. But the biggest thing that everybody was talking about is they were saying she was over sexualized. And the whole movie is about her, but she's not in it a whole lot. So, you know, the movie is about revolutionaries. It's about modern day people like revolting against the government, which is why this movie is so loved right now, because, and again, it was shot and written before all this Trump stuff, but it does a lot of discussion about like immigrant detaining and misuse of the military and all this, because this dude that she had an interaction with in the military, he is obsessed with her. And yeah, I don't want to spoil it. He's obsessed with her, so stuff happens. But she is pretty sexual. Like, there's a part, I'll spoil this out of context. There's a part where Leo, obviously that's her boyfriend, and he's a revolutionary. There's a part where they're like setting a bomb to blow up a cell tower, and they're running away after they set it off. And she's like literally trying to stop him. She was like, let's have sex while the bomb goes off. And he's like, what are you talking about? We got to get out of here. She's like, no, I want to have sex right now. Do me right now. So like, that's tight. And she is a bunch of other stuff, but that's like a idea of her character. And so a lot of people was like, she was so over sexualized as a character
Mm.
And of course, this is what they give the win to. And
Mm.
as you were saying before,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so there's a little bit of critique about the character itself. There's a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
critique about the historical of the wins. There are some critiques about the deservingness, and I would probably fall in that camp as well. But that's where it all sparked from. And then of course Teyana is just like, what movie was y'all watching? Like, y'all don't understand. I will say that just purely on this year, in terms of the topic, not historically, Hollywood is obsessed with this movie because it's Paul Thomas Anderson, because
Mm-hmm.
he is a Hollywood darling, like Quentin Tarantino director.
Right. Yeah.
Um, it is very topical by, just happenstance, because again, Trump wasn't in office when they wrote and shot this. And so it's very topical. And the biggest thing is her choices, because she's only in the first 30 minutes of the movie, and the movie's almost 3 hours.
That's crazy.
Her choices really set off all the consequences of the movie. So they will tell you she's kind of like in the spirit of the whole movie, and that's why her character is so important. So that is kind of what Hollywood feels like. So anyway, that's the whole background for those that didn't see it or don't know what's going on. And you already started the conversation about like what wins and stuff. I think honestly the one you might have missed, which is the biggest one, is Denzel. Everyone went crazy about Denzel not winning,
And
or
Training
only
Day,
win.
yeah. How did I
Yeah.
forget that one? Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
kind of weird, because if he won for glory, he would have been winning for basically a slave scene. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that to me isn't.
It would have still fell in
That's,
the category of people's
but a lot
discomfort
of people
of
said
what
that's
people
the
were
one
winning.
he should have won. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, that doesn't help the narrative. But anyway, they said he won Training Day because he was a bad dude. And then
Mm-hmm.
another, I guess I'm jumping ahead on my opinion, but a lot of people is just like, well, of course, Michael B. Jordan not gonna win. They want to give it to an over sexualized radical, and she made terrible decisions. So they was like, she wasn't even. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. A lot of the other criticism is like her character was not portrayed white. Like like she was messed up. Like she was not a positive character to portray a
Mm-hmm.
black woman revolutionary. And the pushback, of course, is that she's a flawed character. They all are flawed characters. But anyway, so a lot of people is like, of course they'll, get the person who is flawed and make all these dumb decisions, but y'all not gonna give it to Michael B. Jordan. And I'm like, Michael B. Jordan was a whole criminal times two. doesn't that fall in the narrative? Like,
That's the
I'm
yeah,
like, so anyway, you go ahead, take it. So what do you think? You think this historic critic, because you obviously didn't see the movie, but
Mhm.
well, for people that didn't know, she didn't see the movie. Do you think this
Do
historic
I
criticism?
think
Historically,
that historically, I think that yes, I do think that Hollywood has topics that they will award black folks for. I do, honestly, I do. This is coming from the fact that that's the industry that I work in. That's what I went to school for. I went to school for theater. Even just on the collegiate level, the amount of typecasting that happens, of how you kind of get boxed in of what they think we as black folks can do. It's like even when we go to train in these schools, we know exactly what roles we're going to end up playing while we're in the school. You know what I mean? And I mean, in college, so when I was in high school, and I did theater all throughout high school, and I went to college and I knew I wanted to do theater and stuff like that. I already knew at some point in my Black collegiate career in theater that Fences was going to be roped in somewhere, and it was. I ended up doing the choreography for Gabriel's Reckoning at the, when he finally gives his big speech at the end. And I'm like, why are we still only doing these 5 things by Black folks? Is August Wilson the only playwright? What happened to UB Blake? Like, what happened to?
Right.
There's so many other people that we can lean in. So I do think that there are biases in the theater and the film world where they kind of the big wigs rope Black folks. Even I think who was that recently having a conversation? Sanaa Lathan was talking about how even though her mother was a performer and her father worked in the industry, how her daddy did not want her to go into the business, and he was just like, off of the percentage, 2% of white people are in the field, and that make it in this field, and they're the ones with they actually have roles written for them. What about you, where they don't even write roles for Black people? So
yeah,
talking about how that percentage is even smaller for Black creators. And so and even Black creators, you can listen to any actor, even the great Viola Davis, talking about being put into corners of what type of characters that they can play or will be willing to be paid for. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I think that those boxes are real. Long story short, I think that they do have types of characters that they're willing to reward, or types of characters that they're willing to, invest money in, as far as when it comes to Black actors and actresses.
I mean,
and a lot of it is the biopic, slave movies, Jim Crow South movies.
I'm with you. Like talking about Hollywood historically, yes. Like I'm deeper than that. We're talking about when they didn't even cast Black people, and they obviously, well, I would say obviously, but if people don't know, that's what blackface comes from. Like, because they wouldn't even let Black people be actors, and
they would paint themselves to play us.
Not only did they have actors that would portray Black people from their point of view, but they would write stories to only give one narrative about Black people and portray a point of view. Like infant Hollywood was just another tool of racism. Like that was just another propaganda machine. It was pretty much like handing out a flyer. And so like, this is what Black people
and
are.
It's the gift that keeps on giving, because even to this day, no matter how much more information we have and are informed about how TV is used for propaganda, people still flip it on every day and believe what they see. To this day.
I will say, in terms of the awards in this particular conversation, I don't agree. I don't think her win was about awarding a certain type of performance. If anything,
with the role that you're describing, I don't think so either. But I think they're trying to put it in the same category like how Monster Ball was, where Halle Berry had a significant roster of films before, and then they just give her the one where she's naked, and people feel like there's that self-deprecating, or
there's a whole other conversation that I could have, because that includes women. And I think what happens, because yes, it's a conversation, and me as a what do we call ourselves? As a critical theorist, as somebody that is woke, I'm all for interrogation of race in any circumstance. However, there are a lot of times where oppression crosses each other from different intersectionalities. And this is a case because, like, I've been noticing, not always, but I've been noticing for a long time, this whole trend of women and how they become big. And I could talk about that another time. So when we talk about Halle Berry, that falls into a category that includes more than Black women. And when we talk about, like you said, certain type of roles, that's a trend that includes more than just black people, because it was more than blackface. White people portrayed everybody and had certain messages
Indian.
early in the days. But either way, this particular with Teyana Taylor, as somebody that watched the movie and is in that space, this has more to do with their love for Paul Thomas Anderson, the director. They love this movie. They love him. And it's kind of a juggernaut in this award season. I don't mind people pointing out Teyana Taylor's role and starting a conversation of what Hollywood awards. But I'm going to just say, for me personally, this isn't the case, because I don't think she should be nominated. There's another actress in this.
Let's talk about something else. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, let me finish thought. There's another actress in this movie that I think was the best performance out of here. I don't even think Leo should be nominated. He didn't do much in this movie. Like, there's two performances in this movie that by far to me were the best performances in the movie. But because this movie is so popular with the award season and the award, people got to realize the award season is about marketing, just like a movie. They spend millions of dollars like on marketing. They call it campaigning to win awards for the Oscars. And so I think it's more about the popularity and the PR machine of the movie than it is about, oh, this black girl was over sexualized, so we're going to give her the award. No, right. I watched the movie. It was a little ridiculous at times, but the whole movie, it fit with the whole movie, with what everybody was doing. It wasn't out of place. Like, so if I think a lot of people upset and engaging in the conversation didn't even watch the movie, and they're just going off. I
believe, because hell, I'm one of those people. I haven't seen the movie, but I can converse, just like I said, from my experience.
Yeah, but you're not up in arms about it.
No,
like,
yeah.
Posting think pieces about a movie you didn't see.
Yeah,
like, that's what people are doing, and I'm just like,
and that's
somebody
another
that watched the movie. It's just, I don't think that's what this is.
So do you think, knowing that, because I know Ben Affleck was just on a podcast talking about that too, about how, there's a budget, and then the marketing budget is just as big as the film budget, because, there's a whole system that goes into, making a successful film. Knowing that, as a person who loves like awards and stuff like that, do you feel like that conversation that the award shows are rigged is true, knowing how much money goes into the popularity contest and stuff like that?
Well, I wasn't gonna get too deep into the award stuff, but Golden Globes doesn't mean much. It's a popular name. I'll give y'all a quick synopsis. So Golden Globes is the Foreign Press Association or something like that, formerly. So this used to be a group of like 13 people or whatever. The whole premise of the Golden Globes was to award what's popular so they could put on the best show. Like, the Golden Globes is known for having the best parties, getting people drunk before the show so they could have like the best entertainment
speeches and stuff. Yeah.
Right. That was their whole thing. So they are very much known to give awards to popular people. Like, these are called precursors. So if you look at all the awards that lead up to the Oscars, Golden Globes is one of the weakest indicators. If you look at what wins at the Golden Globes versus what wins at the Oscars,
yeah, that's true.
It doesn't compare strongly, because they're just trying to do what's hot. Now, ask me who was the big sponsor because it was on streaming this year, streaming. And who was the big sponsor for the red carpet and streaming? Variety. Who was Variety's cover of January?
I'm gonna assume Teyana.
Teyana Taylor. So
So yeah, I know there's a lot of people that got beef with Variety because they always have some whacked out list that makes no sense to the public.
no,
But
they did
I'm
some
gonna agree.
weird
Now,
stuff.
when I heard something about Tiana winning a major award for one of these award shows, I was like, oh, okay. I was actually quite intrigued because I love Teyana Taylor. I love her music. I think she's a phenomenal dancer. She is a phenomenal model. But I feel like that acting was the one thing that she's like working her way up to. So I was genuinely shocked because I was like, oh, she's pretty early in her like acting career. It made me want to figure out and go see this movie because I'm like, I still consider her to be pretty much a novice on the big screen, and knowing the careers that some other folks had and some of the kind of really hot movies that were out last year, I was like, maybe I need to go see this, because we also just saw Tiana in the Tyler Perry film with Taraji P. Henson. What
You
was
don't
it
like no
called?
Tyler Perry.
You have beef with Tyler Perry, Mr. Chocolate. Where she plays the one of the sergeants on the scene of when Taraji's character is manic at a bank. Anywho,
Oh,
last straw like that. Yeah, performance was and this is coming from somebody who adores. I follow maybe 6 celebrities. I don't follow most people. She's one of the people that I actually do like follow. Like I adore her. But I didn't put her acting in a category yet. I know she's on her way up there because she's very meticulous about what she's learning. So I know probably within the next couple of years she's gonna have a bag for sure when it comes to acting. I just was shocked that her name was being mentioned this early on in her acting career for like a larger award. So I was like, what's this movie? And let me go see it.
I
But
mean, someone said she would be acting since she was 14. But probably not like heavy, but it might have
right.
been her first role.
I feel
But
like,
either
well,
way,
let me say, I guess making it her kind of main focus. I know she's got some new music out too, but um, no, I mean, the earliest I remember seeing Tiana was she was on Sweet 16. those people with like rich parents
oh, I
that
didn't
have
know
those
that.
lavish sweet 16
What she
birthday
was doing on
parties.
there?
Her parents are well off. She comes from affluent parents that are in the industry and stuff like
Oh,
that. So um she was going to be in the industry one way or the other because she's just been around it her whole life. It's just a plus that she actually has talents to be, to carry herself even more heavily within the industry, because we know there's plenty of people, with affluent parents that are also not talented and they don't, but she actually can sing and dance and, blah, 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 blah. So she's able to move herself through the field quite well, and she models and stuff too. So I think that she's in her nexus. But I, just knowing from the films that I have seen of her, I wouldn't have thought that this was her moment to like win a big award yet.
yeah, she definitely had a very specific role. And again, she's not in a lot of the movie, which I think a couple people that I follow agree. Had she been allowed to be, I don't know, 5 more minutes of screen time, then maybe we could talk about this award. But she
Right. Do you
really,
feel like her character wasn't humanized enough?
I think well, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough, especially without spoilers. She's just chaotic. She's chaotic. And I think that was the whole point of what they were showing with her early on. Like, from the moment we see her and what she does, she is very chaotic, and her wild decisions leads to the consequences that play throughout the movie. And so without spoiling it, that's really all I can say. And So as far, it's weird because when we talk about humanizing, especially with women, a lot of times it's like she didn't have a choice. Like everybody did the choice for her. For her, she didn't. Everything happened to her. As much as they say this character is flawed, she made all the choices. She did everything. They were bad choices, but she did everything. Now, I think the problem with her character for me is you get zero background, so you never understand why would you make that choice. You
So
have
yeah,
to
there needs to be
believe.
some more character development then.
You just have to hang on the fact that she's a loose cannon, and they do scenes to show you she's a loose cannon. So when she makes crazy decisions, you're just supposed to be like, well, that's how she is. And I think, yeah, I guess a little more humanizing would have helped. But and then again, a lot of people are very critical, and I'd be one of these people, that the revolutionaries overall, it didn't really give you a sense of like what they were fighting for and their level of competence.
It was you, my own son.
No, absolutely not. But I would just say, for people for people that did see it, I left the movie feeling like twice. I'm like, what is this movie trying to say? Because the thing I took away is it felt like it was saying you shouldn't be a revolutionary because things gonna end up bad. That's what it felt like. It felt like what they saying with the Wiz, you can't win, nigga. You can't win.
And I feel like there's another movie that's kind of like that, the Don't Look Up.
Oh well, yeah, yeah. Well, that was more of a warning, but yeah.
But anyway. I mean, they basically was like, ain't like you can do nothing about it. Just die peacefully in your home, eating dinner with the family you hate. Like, damn.
I just think in 2026, man, it's not perfect at all. There's agendas for sure. Like I said, the reason the Golden Globes weren't taken seriously is because it was like not that many people. They've like dramatically changed what they're doing, but still it's not taken that seriously. The Oscars is taken most seriously because it is thousands upon thousands of people, and the nominations come from the body. So the acting nominations come from SAG, the Screen Actors Guild. The directing nominations come from the DGA, the Directors Guild. Like, on and on. The editing nominations come from whatever. Now, once they go to vote, everybody gets to vote. And what happens is it's just a lot of people that haven't seen the movies, people that vote for their friends. So
that's true.
But back so to many
the
people.
Original conversation, though, even with so many people, do you feel that even that there's still not enough of certain people in the room, even within those rooms of so many people voting? There's still very few people of color in those spaces who, and I'm saying this in this essence of to get around to the conversation that a lot of people don't have. So how like when they're making shows and they want to have the black best friend or whoever, whatever, they say, oh, we got a black writer, he's in the room, and that person's voice is supposed to be all things black. But if you were to get, like, say 7 black people in a room, there's just certain nuances and culturally that will be able to be portrayed a little bit better because obviously there's multiple voices too. I think that that's the actual problem. There are not enough people in those rooms. So I'm not saying that these people are inherently trying to like keep out black or BIPOC films, but there's not enough of them that understand our cultural nuances and our things and our tidbits and our unspoken body language and all these like unspoken cultural atmospheric things that we put into our work, they don't understand it. So they don't understand the significance behind certain looks, certain body language when we're doing these different films. And if you don't have enough people in the room to be able to vote for why this movie was so genius, you know, blah, 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 then no, we're not going to get that many votes. So I think that the bias that people think is there, it is, but I don't think it's the industry purposefully doing it. I think it's a lack of representation within those spaces like SAG and blah, 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 for people to even, I don't think they understand us culturally to understand the significance of certain movies that are created by us. It's like reading a foreign language, you know?
Yeah. So,
or having a foreign film without the subtitles. I don't speak French. I don't speak Italian. I watch an Italian movie and there's no subtitles. Now, of course, I can watch that and kind of get the gist from body language a little bit that, this might be a romance. It looks like two people falling in love. But am I really understanding the film if I don't have that language interpretation for me to kind of help me figure out what is actually going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
I think that's what's missing for us.
For all the fans of the Will Smith Chris Rock beef when he splattered at Chris Rock. Anyway, so that stems back from Chris Rock hosting the Oscars the first time or the previous time, in which Jada said she wasn't going and he was like, nobody invited you. That was the whole hashtag Oscars so white thing. If
I do remember that. Yes.
After that, the Oscars did, much like the Golden Globes, change a lot of their policies. So they had goals, you know, as the Trumpers hate, they had DEI goals where they increased their diversity by X percentage. They changed their membership criteria. So the Oscars, the Academy, they grew in overall numbers and they grew in diversity. That's not to say that the majority is not white, but yes, they have attacked that actual issue, because not only, and again, intersectionality, it wasn't just black films, it was a lot of international films that were not getting that type of praise. So they have increased the body, they've diversified the body, they got the average age down too. That doesn't mean it's perfect, but I will just answer your question. They did like try to change a lot of that.
Mindfully change. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So they did that thing, but yeah, we're still dealing with historic racism.
Because I remember right after that happened, and there was some wins for some folks the next year. People were like, okay, here's the they basically labeled it as like the what's the word I'm looking for?
Token?
Like like the here's your trophy, basically, like the sap, like
award.
Whatever, you know, I don't know what term I'm looking for, but you know, basically it's like, you know, the niggas was complaining the year before, and it's finally the next year they're like, you know, here, you know, pity. That's the one. They felt like the next year after they made those changes and stuff like that, the black folks that won were given pity awards. Basically, that's the word I was looking for.
I mean, it's hard to say. I've said for the longest, and I'm trying to think, 2015 might have been my first award season, and that's when I got into it. And I've been saying since then, they should put the percentages, like, because they don't tell you first, second, third votes. They just tell you who's the winner. I'm like, put the percentages. I would love, like, I mean, why not? I mean, obviously I'm a data fan. Just put the percentages.
Same, you know, I'm a numbers guy myself. I would love to see that.
Obviously, you're not going to be able to say every person who voted for what, but you could tell us the percentage. But anyway, So yeah, they made changes, and things have been getting a little different. And change is slow, and we're dealing with, like I said, we're dealing with historic racism. There's no
Yeah.
doubt. I'm not denying any of that. Historic racism put majority white people in positions of power, and so it's always going to be a long time before we get enough people at the table, as you were saying, to really make
Right.
these decisions. So
And then also for the people who love to always say, "Well, why don't we make our own?" or da, 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 da. And I'm like, well, it's not like that hasn't happened. You have like the NAACP awards and stuff like that. I said, but you guys don't even the people who love to make that comment don't even watch those award shows the way you watched the Oscars and the Golden Globes and stuff. You yourselves are saying, why don't we make our own, and then go and don't support predominantly black award shows, or you make a mockery of them or the network that they're on. Y'all bullied BET so bad that they said that this was, their final year, and they don't even want to have awards anymore. And it's like, for the few folks who did do that, y'all illegitimized it to the point where they don't really exist. Well, NAA will always be there, but it's just like, y'all need to support those award shows. And if that's what you want to be your king of crowning, then support those award shows. Y'all saying all of that and still watching the Oscars and still watching the Emmys and still watching the Golden Globes, and like, pick a battle.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Pick one.
Yeah, I thought about that as well. Like, that's the thing.
The Source, I think even the Source Awards was like the main hip hop thing, and then when it like went mainstream and they were just doing like the music awards, and they like, how the hell did Macklemore win over Kendrick Lamar? And it's like, well, y'all weren't watching BET Awards or Source Awards and our other shows that highlighted black specific artists. Like, the hell, what you thought was gonna happen? I don't know. I lay that down. I digress.
Nah, that's a whole nother convo. All right, so we gonna shift gears. We gonna talk about Kai Cenat, the popular streamer. And so, to lay it out, essentially, Kai did a bit of a pivot, and he's going into a different type of content, still online content, but instead of streaming and all that, he's really, as he said in the Streamer Awards, he's trying to take his fashion career serious. He's trying to take his acting career serious. Mm-hmm. And so, as part of that, without all the details, because I don't know them all, but he dropped some type of YouTube page with a lot of videos, and a part of that is, he said he is going to now read for like 15 minutes a day, and he's doing basically a vlog. Not just the reading, but other things that he's doing. Actually, he's working out. He's on a fitness journey, trying to build muscle. He's learning how to sew. He's learning how to really make like clothes, because he wants to do the fashion thing. But he wanted to do reading because he wanted to improve his articulation and his public speaking. And so he's posted videos of him reading for 15 minutes a day. He'll show you like the clock on his phone, and then, or the countdown. And then as he reads, when he sees a word he doesn't understand, he'll go, he'll do the Siri or whatever AI and be like, what's this word mean? Look up the word, boom, boom, boom. And it was received with a lot of mixed reaction. A lot of people were like, man, this dude sound dumb. He don't know how to read. Like, you're a grown man trying to figure out how to read. There were a lot of people that were just like, why are you posting this? Like, this seems performative. There was people that was cheering him on, but it was a lot of mixed reaction. And so overall, the internet is buzzing about because even like a lot of celebrities, including I think it was her. No, it might have no, it was Doechii.
Oh,
Doechii Doechii was the big one that she was like, salute. Hey, try Toni Morrison. I've been reading her. That's been helping me out. And just people they got comments. They got comments on, don't tell him to read Toni Morrison. He not there yet. There's got people.
Oh Lord.
There's people like, this man can't read. You're a grown man. All types of stuff. A lot of people just feel like this performative, or like they're like, you sound slow. And obviously there's the other side where it's like, bro, this is a young man trying to get better his literacy.
That's something, right. So this is a classic conversation within our community about upward mobility, and how once you get to a certain status, there's like this common joke where people will say like, niggas will make fun of you for trying. Like, look at this nigga trying to do his homework. He actually trying to get a good grade in the class. Goofy ass, and we have this like long conversation on upward mobility and how it is perceived when people are trying to better themselves. And I think it's quite interesting to see this on a grand scale, kind of with this conversation. So this young man has found a way into making money, and now he wants to dive into some endeavors that he actually likes, and is being made fun of for trying to better himself at things. It's a tale as old as time. I don't get it's all hateration and holleration. And we don't need it in the dancery, as Mary J. Blige was.
Not in this dancery.
Not in this dancery. I think he's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing with the position that he's in right now. If I made the money that Kai has made, I'm going to invest in learning some new skills too, so that I can do the things that I want to do. What else would y'all want him to do? Be on drugs right now? Still streaming and trying pills or something? Like, what are y'all expecting this young man to be doing right now, other than trying to learn a new craft or put his dreams into fruition? Like, I think that's absolutely weird. That y'all are, that people are making fun of him for trying to learn new skills. That's real hater and real, like, I don't know. I think that's weird. I like what he's doing. There's another kid that did something similar, a little more quieter because he's not a streamer. But Jay Versace was a young man that was real big on like Vine and stuff, those short snippet videos. And he's now a renowned, he's got quite a bit of production credits under his belt. He produces beats and music and stuff. And it's like, you see in his comments like, damn, the little kid from Vine, we never thought we'd be listening to, like, your music and stuff like that, and blah, 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 blah. Because he did what, he did that. He used social media as a way to build up a platform of following of this or that, make some money, get his name out there, blah, blah, blah. And he was able to successfully get some of his stuff purchased for some big names, and the songs did well. And now he's kind of in the music industry doing his thing. And I'm like, that's what he's supposed to do. Are not most people online trying to get some viewership so that they can put themselves on and then do what they actually want to do? Why are y'all mad at this boy from pursuing his dreams? It's a weird behavior. It's very weird.
Yeah. Weird is a good word. So Kai, as part of the Streaming Awards, like, he kind of hinted, first of all, he talked a lot about his mental health and how it's declining. But then he talked about really wanting to pursue his passion, acting, fashion, and just kind of in that lane. So he's pretty much doing that right now. But a lot of people, so I just looked it up. Kai is 24 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He's born in 2001. Now, I don't know. I'm gonna put you on the spot. I don't want to, but I'm just curious if you'll figure this out. A lot of comedians, because me and Abrisha have a connection with comedians, stand-up comedians.
Yeah, that's how we became
Now,
friends.
now that we got all the interviews and internet, what do a lot of comedians say about their school days when they were young? That they were what? What type of student did the school label them as?
Class clowns, troublemakers,
And what else?
and that they were in like remedial classes.
There we
They
go.
were in remedial classes.
So Kai has the same background.
Mm-hmm.
Like misdiagnosed, undiagnosed, plus class clown. So what type of education y'all thought he was receiving?
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Even from a person who did well in school. I did pretty good throughout school growing up as a kid. But as a kid from the rougher side of town, so to speak, I'm from a small town, so I ain't gonna say there's no city living or nothing. But from the rougher side of town, who didn't have parents that had disposable income, I remember when I joined orchestra in 4th grade, most of the people there already knew how to read music because they had private lessons before. Because in public schools, you can't join the orchestra until 4th grade. So I had to wait until 4th grade to even get in orchestra. But in the meantime, all of my classmates were taking private lessons, earlier on in their life. So I'm already coming in at a disadvantage because my music theory is almost 5 years behind my classmates because I'm relying on my ability to do this craft by being in a public school. You see what I'm saying? So imagine even me, a student who does well for themselves in these settings, a person who actually has a mixed diagnosis or undiagnosed ADHD, ADD, or, the inability, what's the dyslexia, or, those kind of learning disabilities, trying to thrive in this same school. If I struggled in these schools, falling behind with certain stuff as a person who just loved to learn, imagine a person who has all of these issues also trying to thrive in these schools. Like, are y'all mad? Put 2 and 2 together.
So it's I think the low hanging fruit joke is like, oh nigga, you can't read, you can't, whatever. But even more so if you just like a fan of Kai Cenat and you like, dang, this nigga can't read. Like, y'all gotta zoom out even more to what his upbringing and not even his, a lot of people's upbringing are. Yeah. And a lot of people's access, as you was talking about, is. So, but outside of that, so that's speculation. I don't know what went on with him. We do know Black and brown men have some of the worst educational experiences K through 12. That's research. Yeah, they're mislabeled. That's why I was just having this conversation with my husband today. I didn't, believe it or not, I didn't boo-hooed 3 or 4 times today. My daughter has so much energy. She's 4 years old. In August and September, she'll be 5. And so I'm in that process where I'm going to see, what I need to do to get her into school. And my biggest fear is, are they going to mislabel my child because she's got a lot of energy? Because her metabolism is great. Is she going to get in that classroom and I'm going to get notes that she's disruptive? Or, do you know how they like to label us as Black folks, brown folks in these schools? They start early with the manipulating, hyperactive and all these labels and titles and, this unbeknownst bias that just grows with the kid as the kid gets older. And I've mourned something that hadn't even happened to my child yet, because I was just like, we're going to have to work triple time to reassure her who she is, because I already know that she may have teachers who's going to try to label her as bad or, a behavior case or,
blah, 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 blah. Mind you, my child's been reading since she was 2. My child has perfect pitch. She picks up her songs on her little piano lessons really, really fast. None of that is going to matter to people just because she has a lot of energy and they're going to be forced to sit still in the school for 8 hours. What about the kids who literally can't sit down because they have great metabolism? They need to be doing something active with their hands. Everybody doesn't learn by sitting and listening, and some people need to touch stuff. Some people need to, and we have to face the fact that schools are not built. They're going to teach you that there's different types of learners and then actively not even apply anything that helps different types of learners. Oh, there's visual learners and there's auditory learners and there's this. You're going to hear that. And then they will not give you any schooling that caters to those different styles of learning. They're going to give you sit down and do this packet for 8 hours. And that's it.
Yeah.
So, seeing people, make fun of a kid trying to right his wrongs or how he was wrong, whether the school system failed him, whether his level of access to certain things was short, whatever it is. Like I said, I'm not gonna honor that, and I always think I think it's weird when people try to make fun of people for going back to school, or like you said, how many comedians have we saw just now getting their high school diplomas because it meant something for them to be able to go back and finally get their GED or, blah, 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 because they didn't get it when they were younger. I'm going to always cheer for stuff like that. I'm not going to make fun of nobody for trying to fix that.
So I just want to ask directly, do you think it's okay if you had to give it a percentage? I'm a big fan of percentage. What's the probability that this is performative? This is just him trying to get like clicks and likes. And I mean that to me, at least, specifically, like this is fake. I don't think everybody means that, but I'm gonna say just it's fake. What percentage of you think this might be fake? Hey, I'm just doing this, kind of like the influencers, quote unquote. This my get ready for the morning routine. I'm
right.
putting my face in the ice bath. I'm reading the scripture from the Bible. I'm, all that.
I don't. So, do I think that what he's doing is fake? No. Do I think that he's still filming it because he needs a sense of gratification because that's how he's lived his life so long, is by the opinion of others? Yes. That is very much a Gen Z, Gen Alpha thing. They live for likes. You know what I mean? They talk about how, well, we see like in Australia where now teenagers are not even allowed to have, like kids are not even allowed to have social media that are under the age of 16, I believe, because they're realizing the implications of how they are always living and modifying themselves for the likes or for the approval of their peers.
With that,
think that Kai Cenat is outside of that? No, he is literally one of the biggest products of seeking gratification from your peers. So just because he's deciding to switch and which way he's going to stream is not going to decrease his need for approval or seeking approval from, his peers or those around him. He's no different than his own generation of people. So I think that what he's doing is real, but is it for gratification or for, that endorphin you get of like, oh, 1 million people like this? I think, yeah, it's for that, but I don't think that what he's doing is fake. I think he's actually doing stuff that he likes, but he still wants the gratification from a certain amount of people, interacting with it.
Well, I'm put your feet to the fire because we need a number. What percentage, I'll say, do you think, what percentage probability that this is fake out of 100?
I'm going to say 40.
That's a huge number.
I'm going to say 40 because everybody knows that.
He was in defense of him.
Yeah. It's
But
60
40
40.
is a huge number.
I'm saying 40 because at the end of the day, being in front of the camera is still an act. Everyone still puts on a mask to be in front of a camera. So some part of it is still him masking and only showing whatever part of himself he wants to show. You know what I mean? So there is still some masking that's happening, but do I think that he's doing things that he likes to do? Sure.
I'm gonna probably go against you a little bit. Like no, because I really feel like, especially as an educator in college, being around these students, they are just used to a different type of like vibe. I don't want to say vibe. That's nebulous, but they're used to a different type of world. Like they are used to being in front of the character and being oversharing. Mm-hmm. And it very much like how me and you are not, and how the like whole history of the world is not. Mm-hmm. It's not weird or it's not uncomfortable for them to share their personal.
The topics that they're willing to talk about out loud is insane. I'm like,
yeah. So I think
what's the phrase? Batman couldn't get that out of me.
That's funny. I think there's a world where he and a lot of people of his age, like say he's 24. They are just very used to putting their personal life on camera.
It's true.
And being vulnerable. So I'm probably half of what you had. I'm probably think it's like a 20% that this is fake. Mm-hmm. That's kind of where I'm looking at. But real quick, hopefully.
You never know what you about to ask.
this brought up this whole discussion of anti-intellectualism.
Oh yeah, let's talk about it real quick.
Now, I didn't know about this, but I've been complaining about this for a long time. Mm-hmm. And only because of the Kai Cenat thing that I realized this was a whole thing. As I say a lot, the internet is a infinite place. Mm-hmm. Like you have people with millions of views and followers that one person at work never heard of. And they know somebody who with millions of billions of views.
Kai himself was out for years and I never knew who that kid was. I think I just learned about who he was last year.
Popularity
for a long time.
Popularity is different. Like we talked about with Diddy in the Diddy doc. The funnels were like 1 or 2, 3 or 4, 5 or 6, 7 or 8. Now the funnel is infinite. You can be popular in any type of way and nobody knows. The next person next to you on the train or the bus has no idea about you. So I did not know this was a whole thing going years back, but I've been ranting about this the whole time. I just never used this term. So I saw the Kai Cenat thing, anti-intellectualism, and there's so many people talking about it.
Yes.
And they were talking about from the standpoint, not of this being performative, but being smart is not cool. Being informed is not cool. Hold on. What? No. Wait. I just want to set the stage. What is your overall thought about that in America?
I'm going to say that anti-intellectualism is the product of what all things in America is. It's racism. So anti-intellectualism started way back in slavery days for Black Americans with why we say things are opposites. You know, oh, that boy bad, or, you know, bad mean good and this and that. So whenever families were trying to stay together in these plantations, they would talk negative about their own kids so that they would have a less chance of being bought. Oh, that boy, he ain't no good. He barely could pick anything. He's slow out of protection.
Hold
Out
on.
of what's up?
You talking right now.
You hear me?
You talking right. Go ahead.
So they would say these negative statements out of protection, trying to keep their families together, and so we have this rhetoric where we used it for protection for so long, but somewhere in there, as time goes on, we're past Jim Crow, we're moving into the 70s and 80s. We got black exploitation films, we got niggas moving into corporate, we got all these different things. Now we have, for the first time, Black Americans in different social classes right now. So now it's not that we're all the same and we're struggling the same way and we're all kind of in the same gap of wealth or this or social, socioeconomic status views, this, that, that. When we started to spread out across upper, middle, lower class, socioeconomically, when we started to spread out education-wise on who was educated, blah, 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 then that's when it started to move into the anti-intellectualism that we speak of today, where it's like, oh, nigga, because you got a college degree, you think you better than me. Now I'm just I'm just a ignorant nigga and you missed the big money, right? And so I think that there was this shift from us using the language as protection to it actually becoming like a conversation between like the class wars within the Black community. Because obviously till this day, there's still not that many of us who are moving out of these social qualms these boxes that we're put in, but there are enough of us. And I remember being a person who was put in one of those boxes where my own community feeling chastised because I was in honors programs and stuff like that, and nobody would accept me. Obviously, white people weren't fucking with me because I'm Black. You know what I mean? And then my own people were, you think you better than us. You think just because you in them little classes, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I don't think shit. I live in the same neighborhood as you. I go back home to the same place you go to. I don't see myself any different from you. But just that pitting of us against each other starts. I know for myself that those conversations started in middle school as early as 5th grade, where there's like, when I joined orchestra, stuff like that you doing white people shit. That's white people shit. Why you want to do that? I'm interested now because I'm interested in something other than, certain sports and certain this. Now I'm not Black. I can only, as a Black girl, what am I supposed to be doing right now? Majorette dancing? That's all I got? You know what I mean? And so it was just like, I started to see it early on, and as I progressed through life, and you get into I remember not even having my first group of Black friends for real until college, because we were all the Black folks that people was making fun of and calling us white all our lives, who finally who understood the intersectionality and the dichotomies of what it was like to be raised in the hood, but just a nigga just trying a little bit. Like, I don't think any of us were any more special than the people that were right next to us. But just because we applied a little pressure, all of a sudden, we're elitists, or we're this, or we're intellectuals, and we think we better than. And a lot of it is projection, because I think the deeper conversation is, how dare you make it out of the conditions that they put all of us in, basically. For the few who did move around out of these boxes that we were put in due to racism and trying to hold us into a certain standard or a certain way of living. So there's multi-layers to that intellectualism and anti-intellectualism conversation, but that's my say.
Yeah. Well, don't white people in the South say yeah. But no, there's a lot in what you said. That's definitely true. And I do think it falls within that. I saw a lot of content, so it's not my own original thoughts, but it falls what it falls within the lines of what I talk about. I'm in education, so I see it a lot. And it's just this idea that everything not deep, everything not woke, y'all. This race conversation, like, it's like, bro, y'all have no idea. Like, y'all are really lost in like what's really going on, because like I I will say this as somebody that worked in K through 12 as well as higher ed, but working at CPS, I was on the ground level when it started.
And say the CPS because that means an acronym for a lot of people's different things.
Chicago Public Schools, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Before Kai Cenat and all that, streaming had picked up, and I'm telling you, I was a college and career coach. So I worked with the seniors to get ready for whatever after high school. And the number of people in my last year that was just like, oh, such make I'm a YouTube. I'm be a YouTuber. Such make money off YouTube. And I'm like, that's your plan. Like, okay. So they were already looking at the internet as a different way out, similar to how we talk about sports being people's way out, basketball, football.
For my little 4-year-old, she will literally, hi, my name is Betsy, and this is Mom, and we're about to get ready for school. I'm like, who are you talking to? But even that young, she's like.
And this was 2018. Yeah, 2018 is my last, Chicago public schools. But the amount of people that was talking about that, and I just want to say I'm an open counselor. So we talk about CDLs, we talk about HVAC, it's not just go to a college. It's like whatever
across the board,
whatever higher ed looks like. But the amount of people that was just like, I'm gonna do internet. So I already saw it coming in. But then fast forward now, it's even worse. But with the number of people that's, opting for that route, the other thing that people don't talk about is this stems from a lot of negative experiences in the educational system, which there's a lot of studies. It's documented. Again, Black and brown people, especially males, very negative experiences in the K through 12 system, and for a number of reasons. And it all culminates at the end of the day of people just like, F school. I don't like school. I don't like teachers. I don't like homework. I don't like this.
I don't like nobody telling me what to do.
College is a no-go for me. And I'm not saying college is the end-all be-all. I'm in higher ed, but I'm not that type of person. It's not for everybody, but like I said, higher education is essentially anything after high school. So that's the way I approached it. Like, you don't got to go move away and be on the dorm, but you can be in a community college, you can be in a program, whatever. But a lot of people don't look at it that way. They just like, I'm done with what the government is tracking me for. I'm going to go do whatever I got to do. And I get that. So the backlash to a certain point, like you said, is projection. I'm F school, I'm F all that reading books, F Shakespeare, what they got to do with me. I'm out here trying to survive. Shakespeare ain't making me no money, nigga. I'm trying to get it. Like, I'm with all that. But literacy, obviously, if people are serious about streaming or if they're serious about content, you realize in 2026 there's laws, there's lawsuits, there's contracts, there's
Mm-hmm.
negotiations. You gotta be able to
We got to
read
be
and
able to
write,
read and write and
nigga.
comprehend.
Come
Not
on.
even just be able to read and write. You need to be able to comprehend what you're reading.
Emphasis on that.
That's the problem, because there's plenty of people out here who know how to read and comprehended a damn thing. So
Yeah.
that's the thing.
So into being intellectual, that's just a form of fascism, and that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, I've been, like I said, I've been saying for a while, it's cool to be dumb. It's cool to be dumb. It's as you
Because
say,
it's
a
like
tale as old
like
as
you said, it's a
time.
F you to the system, or we all love the rebels and the bad boys. We've been seeing that, and that's just across the board. It's not even just for black and brown people. We see Greece and stuff like that, where it's like, the dropouts and the people who skip, class, and they go out and they do the things, oh, those are the cool kids, Everybody loves to be the bad boy or the bad girl or whatever, stuff like that.
Wait, did you mean Greece as in double E the country, or Greece?
Oh no, like the musical.
That's so funny, because that's literally what I was about to go to. I was about to say, I'm a big fan of musicals. I love Grease, and I'm like, it's literally the 50s. It's literally Grease heads. It's literally F school, and all of that sentiment against education is a projection on your negative experiences with education, whether it be a teacher,
right?
Whether it be
not realizing
parents,
that you're having those negative experiences because it's curated that way, because the people who have built this system, this capitalist system that we're all living in, they can't afford for us to all be educated and understand, because then they can't get away with the shit that they're getting away with. You know what I mean? So even though you saying fuck you to the system is great in one breath, because it's like, yeah, the system is rigged sometimes, yeah, but also by saying fuck you to the system and still having some lacking skill, you're still also giving them what they want. So it's like, yeah, yes, and yet yes and no. It's hard. So it's just like,
yeah,
you thought you beat them by saying fuck them, but now they're beating you out by you not being able to understand a contract for when you do make it out and you're successful and you go get your streaming this or that, or music that fits you make, or whatever creative thing that you do. And how many artists have we seen be beat out because they couldn't comprehend their contracts? And I didn't know that they were going to be taking that much off the top, and I didn't know I was going to owe for studio time, and I didn't know I was going to and we made them millions of dollars, and now I'm sleeping in my car.
Yep.
It's a tale as old as time. So it's like, I hear the people who want to say fuck the system, but I also understand the need to be able to operate successfully outside of it too, and that's going to take some intellectual rigor that people like to make fun of people for, and I just don't understand it. I don't understand that.
Yeah. So to wrap it up, I mean,
Will Smith, Jaden Smith on his rap song said, "My daddy said in order to beat the system, you got to understand it first." That's a Jaden Smith lyric. I don't know which song, but it just popped in my head. But it's true. In order to beat the system, you got to understand it first. Got to be able to comprehend the system.
We quoting a philosopher, Jaden Smith.
Yeah.
So
very philosophical child.
So to wrap it up, I guess number one, well, no, we're not gonna go there. I guess to wrap it up, with Kai Cenat learning to read, as we talked about in the last topic, what percentage do you give that is fake for clicks and views versus him just trying to better himself?
I'm gonna say this. I need everybody to go pull up that Pop the Balloon show where that sister printed out that page of that Harry Potter book and told them Negroes to read out loud because she wanted to make sure they knew how to read. Of course, most of them did well. I'm not saying that they didn't do well, but we know that if we were going to do that same thing, just walking the streets right now, the hoobalabaloo that we would be hearing people trying to read would sound a mess. There are hundreds and millions of people in this country who do not know how to read. For real. We saw them in our classrooms. They hated when the English teacher would be like, we're going to take turns reading paragraphs. You would see the instantaneous sweat appearing on motherfuckers' foreheads because they knew they did not know how to read out loud that great. And matter of fact, how many fights were started because everybody knew who in class couldn't read out loud. And as soon as the teacher said that, everybody got the side-eyed and looking at them and Kiki and Kai Khan. And now that nigga is knocking somebody's head between two desks because it was that serious that he didn't know how to read out loud and he didn't want to be embarrassed in front of all them people. I need people to stop lying. I'm gonna say a scientific article. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say about 46% of people gonna read successfully. The other one's gonna be skipping over words. I'm not saying they're gonna be able to read it, but they're gonna be some struggling to read it successfully without having to stutter or think about the pronunciation of something. That's all. I'm just saying. Ain't talking about no newspaper. Scientific article, on about 46% of y'all gonna read that correctly. That's all I'm saying.
Abrisha, once again, skipping the question. What percentage?
I said 46%.
I said what percentage that Kai Cenat reading is fake versus it being genuine.
Oh, I thought you were just talking about over across the board. Kai Cenat specifically, I don't know. I think it's 80% legitimate. Like I said, there's always going to be some masking and stuff like that. He still got to make it content. He still got to make it clickable. You know what I'm saying? He still got to have moments where people got something to talk about. So
there you go. I'm with you. I feel like a lot of comments, my response is, what y'all expect? The man streams, he shares his life, he vlogs, like that's what it is. 2026. What y'all expect from him? That's what he's gonna give y'all. So if he says, hey, I'm on a new venture, I'm doing this. Because a lot of people was like, I would respect it more if he had been doing this for a year and then posted videos. And they were comparing it to the weight loss journey people, where it was like, I don't want to see you in the gym day 1 and day 2. Like, post that a year later and show us all the stuff you've been doing. Because if it was really about you improving, you wouldn't have posted it right now. You'll post it after the fact once you're already good. And so that's what a lot of people were saying.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot that goes into that. I don't know. I think that there's two sides to that coin. There are people who will start their, like, let's say if they're doing like a fitness thing, right? Who will show them like day 1 and stuff like that. And I think it's so interesting that when they do it, when they start at the beginning where they haven't had progress yet, the amount of like negativity that is shown on the people. So it's almost like you almost get forced into not popping it. You're almost forced to show face when you've actually had like some success basically with the task at hand. So I actually like people who start from the beginning, because I feel like that's the more truer form of a person. I think that's the more human version of a person, is like when you are struggling and stuff is new to you. I would prefer that, seeing you from there, and then when you actually hit your goals, it's like, that's dope, you know what I'm saying? But I know a lot of people, like you said, short attention spans, don't have time for that. And even for the online thing, I remember I wanted to say earlier that I forgot, like with people, with your students and like other people wanting to use like streaming as a way to like make their money or get famous and stuff like that. No one even talks about how most of these streamers who are big now had been streaming like 5 to 8, 8 years unsuccessfully before they like hit big, and they still stayed at it and, kept recording and blah, 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 blah. There's very few who were like overnight sensations. You know what I mean? So I don't like that you can't talk until you do it successfully, because successful people have done most things unsuccessfully until they found their niche or whatever. So I don't like that. I would rather he do it like this than to be like, nigga, I know how to read now, and here's videos of when I was struggling. Because I feel like that would feel more, I feel like that would be less authentic. That would feel like a PR stunt if he did it that way.
Yeah, now that you say that, I can see both sides. It's because it's like, okay, let's just say, for whatever reason, I was Kai Cenat, and people didn't know, like, I pretty much got a PhD. And I'm just like, hey, yo, I'm trying to read. And I started putting out these videos of me reading. They like, okay, that's mad corny. Like, you faking for the camera. But also, if I'm like, hey, yo, I've been trying to figure out how to read. Here's all these videos from the last year. And it's like timestamp. They still could be like, that's mad corny, bro. You know how to read. So I don't know.
And this is a real thing. I actually follow a gentleman on TikTok. I forget his name. That's what he's doing. He's like, my name is such and such. I didn't learn how to read, and I'm learning to read online. And this brother literally just be on TikTok live, reading out loud to get over his fear of like, doing the thing. And like you said, when he like first started, the amount of bullying that was happening was like insane. But once people realize like, oh, he's serious. Like he's actually doing this. He's coming on these lives every day, just to read. Like, then that's when like the hoorahs come in, like, keep going, brother, you got it, But I want to figure out why the initial response is always hateration. I need to know what's behind that. Somebody just wanting to better themselves. What's why is that the natural response? Is to be
like
mad.
I said, a lot of the negative,
or to make fun. Like that doesn't. Yeah. What's wrong with us as a collective?
A lot of negative response was like, it's a performative. You just doing this for clicks and views. Like, basically, if you was really doing this, you wouldn't post it. Like, you would do your own. And again, that was back to my point. A lot of people that's not Gen Z, especially late Gen Z or Gen Alpha, they don't realize this is normal to them. They are very, like, to us, me and you are millennials. I don't know, like, I think we're mid millennials or whatever. But
we are younger millennials, because some of us are already in our like late 40s, or I mean they're 46, 45ish, somewhere in that range. Because
But
the last year for us is, I think, is 95 or 96.
Oh,
So,
yeah, you're right. We
yeah.
late. But so if you're a late millennial, if you're a Gen Xer, boomer, whatever, it's like, okay, a camera's on, you're performing. For these younger generations, camera don't mean performing. It really
Exactly.
means like cameras, I'm doing what I'm doing.
It's their
Like,
every day. They've had FaceTime their whole social life. And no
exactly.
one's having these conversations. That's just their, like you said, that's their norm. That's their literal being. It's just the camera. So I don't, and like you said, I don't think people our age and above are understanding that that's just like their thing.
Yeah. So so that's it with Kai Cenat. All right, so let's move on. We are going to talk about, what are we talking about? I'm blanking right now. Hold on, I'm gonna get it.
We did our 3 topics. What 4th topic? Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna talk about dating friends outside of the relationship. So the conversation.
Right. Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about it's pretty simple. I'm gonna lay it out like this to start off. We can go into other stuff after. If you die, you're dead. You're done.
You're done.
And your partner, your spouse, your significant other, whatever, go on to date your best friend. Is that fair or foul?
Oh my God. This conversation stresses me out because everybody knows I've always been an advocate that says I am not the person to say whose true match is whose true match, right? Like if somebody didn't work out for me, who am I to say that they can go try and be successful with somebody else that I know? So I've never been a person who really cared about a friend dating an ex. And I'm talking about, and this is like in youth. I'm not talking about like people who have been together for 10 plus years and all of this stuff. I'm talking about like in youth, in that youthful dating stage where stuff might be short. Like I was never a person who would be mad if someone dated an ex, because more than likely you weren't even with that person that long before they became like an ex. Moving into my adult life, I've actually seen this situation play out with one of my friends and their family. The situation happened, and growing up,
Brisha.
Yes.
Let the people know who you are, because
what do you mean?
In long time, good time, I'm the good time. I'm single.
Yeah, Terry's a good time. I am the long time. I have been married for 15 years now.
15?
I know, 15 years. And with that in mind, like I said, as I grew up, so when I was younger, middle school, high school, if somebody dated an ex, I wouldn't care.
Brisha is also a mother. She in Texas. She's a mother. She's got kids.
Kids.
She's got a kid.
She's got kids. I have one child. But yeah, I think that now where I'm at in my life, and also watching that play out in someone else's life, I don't like it. So younger me was tripping. Older me is like, that's foul. I remember being vehemently mad at this man for marrying the best friend of his wife. I thought it was, I don't know, it felt so distasteful. So I learned in that situation that who I was changing, because I used to not care about stuff like that. But when it comes to somebody that I was dedicated to, it just looks weird across the board, no matter how you try to spin it. there was the conversations of like, oh, the person was just trying to be there for me because we both lost somebody important to us, and then we got close after that. Or the fact that that best friend might be very similar to your person because, birds of a feather flock together, and more than likely that friend. But it's not gonna change the, have you guys always been attracted to each other? There's these conversations that are like, that are there, that is weird for the family who also has to embrace you now as this new status of relationship. And so I remember how hurt everybody was around it, and curious about, had they ever done anything in the past, or like how did you guys move into this so quickly or comfortably? It felt it even if it was genuine, there's going to always be the speculation of like, should my dearly departed loved one ever trusted you? Had you always, moved this nakedly? If it feels like a dagger in the heart for the existing family outside of the two people in the relationship now. So that being in mind, also just me personally, 15 years being married to somebody, and imagining I pass away and my husband marries one of my best friends. I don't know, that's just weird. So I think it's a no-fly for me now as an older adult. As a child, a teenager, I didn't care. Right now, I'm coming back to haunt people. Like, that's just weird. I'm sorry.
Wait. Okay. So you looking down from the heavenly pearly gates, and your husband is with one of your best friends, and again, the consoling is always the number one thing they talk about. They console, they talk, they love your daughter, and then.
But I think that the reason why I think that I believe how I believe now is because as adults, we're more precarious about the friendships that we keep and the rules that we followed while in the land of the living. Why do you think that you can now throw that rule away because somebody has passed? When I was alive, we wouldn't date each other's exes. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mess with somebody that you've messed with, or you wouldn't mess with somebody that I've messed with while I'm in the land of living. Why would you then break that trust as a friend just because somebody has departed? I think that that's the ugliness behind it. It's like, if you were my real friend, you would keep that sisterhood or, brotherhood, whatever side of the case it might be. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's just a betrayal thing. I just think it's weird, and it crosses a line of like, as friends, you just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It crosses a line for me.
Okay, so I already know your answer, but to bring this back a little bit, let's say you are out of the picture. You broke up, you died, you in jail, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And your partner goes on to get another partner, but it's someone you don't know, you never met. It's more okay if it's not one of your friends.
Mm-hmm. You expect the person to move on. I'm not saying the person's got to stay single forever. No, I just think it'd be weird if it'd be somebody that's a friend of the person that passed away. But yeah, I think that people who have partners that depart should move on. Living in grief is not healthy. And grieving somebody to the point of singledom is not healthy either. That's you stuck in the past. Now, people will say that how fast does that happen? I think it's different for different people, but I will say I do find it a little weird if somebody only been in the ground for 3 months and you already got a new boo. That's suspicious. I'm talking about situations that I've seen in real time.
That's 90 days.
I'm saying situations that
I've seen in real time. That's a probation period.
I'm saying things that I've seen in real time that has informed that I have changed as a person. I saw that happen in real life, and I was like, I don't like that. I don't like that, not one bit. You know what I'm saying? That
90
was a
days
little
without no
too
coup de cat.
fast. Huh? Yo,
90 days.
Terry, no, we're talking about somebody who was married for a long time and a
I'm
partner
just
passed
saying.
away, and you got somebody new in 3 months. That's too quick.
Wait. I got a question. Is it different for men and women?
I think that the timing is different. We all know that men tend to
No,
move
no.
on
I mean
faster than women.
to you. Not real life.
Do I think it's different for? No, I think it's weird across the board.
Okay.
If you were with a person for that long, I'm not saying you, like I said, I'm not saying that you have to stay single, but if you're able to move on that fast, if you think I'm not going to be side-eyeing and judging you just a little bit because I think that's suspicious, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've mourned pets longer than that. Like, you dedicated how many years of your life to a person and you was able to move on that fast? I don't know. That would be weird to me. Is all I'm saying. I'm not.
So your homie, your dedicated friend,
these hypotheticals are killing me. Go ahead.
Bought presents for the kids. Bought Girl Scout cookies for that 1 year they want to do Girl Scouts. Put money on the book fair. Like they were a solid friend. You go on to meet your maker. They want to come in and be your husband's new partner to carry on the loving family dynamic.
No.
No, you wait. So okay, so basically, and for my betters out there,
let me say
you
this.
would take
I'll say why. I'll say why.
But let me ask the question: you would take the field, as they say in betting terms. You would take any other random girl versus your best friend, who you know is solid.
I'm gonna say this. There's, like I said, it's for me. My word is bond. My word is bond. My friendship and my sisterhood, my brotherhood for some of my guy friends, is very, very strong. That means that you are the person that I've been talking to about what maybe sometimes even I couldn't talk to my partner about. Maybe I couldn't figure out how to, get the situation or something like that. You have been a part of my life in a way that is very intimate when it comes to my relationship with my spouse as a great friend or a best friend. You know what I mean? There's going to be stuff that we share with each other that, like I said, it all feels like betrayal. I don't care, dead or not, it feels like betrayal because you may have known about things that only me and you as friends have known that even that partner may have not known because I wasn't comfortable discussing with them yet or whatever it is. Like as your best friend, that these are the people you process with, or like, am I tripping? Am I reading the situation wrong? Or was I wrong for doing X, Y, and Z? Or there's so much into that, and to know that you have all of that information. And you just, I don't know, it still feels like betrayal to me. I can't get over that. No, I'm never going to be comfortable with that. I understand a person being comfortable with the folks that are closest to them and around them. Yes, it's still not going to make me no more comfortable with the situation. Like, I couldn't imagine Shamalis with Girl Terry or Kiera or Embria. That would be absolutely insane.
You putting the
and
names
weird
out there. She putting the
These
names up.
these are my
But
best friends.
but
I
they
would
knew
think it's
your
so
kids.
weird. No, 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 no. I mean, one of
I
them
keep saying
is
kids. You got one kid, but you
of
got
one child, and one of those beautiful women is Betsy's godmom. But like mm-mm. There's too much of my secrets that you hold, even about that person, to then go and be with that person. I don't know.
okay. Okay.
I don't think it has anything to do with like attraction or anything like that. It's all about the sisterhood that was upheld while we were living. I think it's just a big betrayal when it comes to that.
So, we appreciate you obviously giving your thoughts. I'm sure people want my thoughts because it might sound like I'm interrogating you.
That's fine.
For me, if I went on to be with him and my wife and kids was comforted by my best friend and hashtag / shout out to Jack Frost if people don't watch that Christmas classic. His best friend ended up marrying his wife after he died. I'm signing off on it.
Of
Let's
course.
go. I what you mean, of course. I know it's contrary to popular belief.
It's not contrary to popular belief. It's just
I
known
do
that
think it
men are
is.
okay with
The
men
men,
are
no,
way more
no.
okay with sharing
I
partners.
disagree.
And
Well,
they got a
maybe,
whole
but
song called OPP. Like their men are way more
well,
okay
yeah,
with sharing,
but no,
having the same
no.
partner. They are.
Men are portrayed as hyper masculine, where
I don't think it has anything to do
I
with
don't want
hypermasculinity. I think it's
I
just that
don't
they are
want no
okay.
guy. I don't want no guy to ever touch my girl, be inside my girl. I don't want to hear about the body count. I don't want to hear anything. Like you're mine. They talk about men being possessive, and it's true. That's what we were taught. But for me, I'm outside of the norm if you haven't picked that up. So for me, I'm just like, if you gonna be with some, especially if I'm dead. Now, if I'm in jail, it might be a little different. But if I'm dead, go ahead, be with him. I'm with him, you be with him. Like I went on to be with him, you be with him. Like I want some people that I know that's gonna take care of my kids. I don't got no kids, but if I had kids, if I had one kid, like I want somebody that I know gonna take care of the family. That's the bro. Now, the conversation, like you mentioned, always comes into the prior, infatuation. Are you into my person? Like, how long y'all been doing this? If I'm in heaven, I'm looking down. If you my bro, and I'm a good dude, you a good dude. If you not a good dude, now if you with my bro and he a terrible person, I'll be like, it's double trauma because you're terrible. I had terrible judgment. But if you with my bro and I was right, and he a good dude, he take care of everything, like y'all doing what y'all gotta do, cool.
Lord have
That's
mercy.
how I feel. That's how I feel.
Lord have mercy. I mean, like I said, I get it, but yeah, the way I operate in my sisterhood, it'll be betrayal. I'm sorry, I can't. Like you said, dog, in your brotherhood, that's an open door. That's cool. I
I'm an
fucks with
open
that.
person though. I'm
I
not
fucks with
not
that.
the majority. Most niggas is gonna be like, hell no. And the topic came from an interview that I was watching where they said that. They was like, hell no. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, shoot, I mean, you get a good
Some people will
argument.
say, "Oh, it's biblical." To religious people, back in the
Exactly.
day when the brother would die, his brother would marry the wife so that she still had somebody
Well,
to
not
care
my
for
brother.
her.
No, hell no, not my brother. But
Oh, that's the
nah,
same thing. Oh, hell
hell
no,
no,
Terry.
not my
No,
brother.
no,
Not my
no. That's
brother.
the same thing.
No,
That's the same
that's
thing. My
no
best
no.
friends are just like my sisters. I
My
literally hold them in the
brother
same
is
qualm and
diabolical.
category. Those are the same people. So
No,
no, that's the same. So
no.
if it can be your best friend, it got to be your brother too. I'm
Hell
sorry.
no.
No, no,
Hell
no.
no.
There's no getting out of that.
No,
I hold
that
that's why I call
is.
it a sisterhood. I hold my best friends in the same regard as I hold my sisters. That is the same category of people. If you let your homeboy marry your wife post Methuselah or whatever, then you gotta let your brothers do it too. I'm
Absolutely.
standing on that.
That's
No.
absolutely not.
Those are not
That's
different. No.
that is different. That because we talking about genetics at that point. That's
Then, according to your theory, that's even better. They're gonna even have cousins. They're gonna have new siblings that look just like them because it's a bloodline thing now. Now that cousins, everybody look
hell
like a
no.
family.
No,
Nobody's sticking out
no,
like a sore thumb. You know what I'm saying?
no,
Like that.
no,
According to your theory, that's even better. That's even better.
no.
Cause
I'm talking
now the cousin brothers are gonna look alike. Your brother look like
no.
you. That mean that when they have new babies, the kids gonna all look like one cohesive family. It just meshes together so well, according to your theory, man.
No,
But your
not my
brother,
brother. Not my brother. That no, that crosses the line. I'm talking about like structure, love, all that stuff. I'm not talking about genetics. That's crazy.
that's what I mean. The same thing, but I'm just saying it's even better. They can love
No,
them, be a good person, and the kids gonna all look
hell
alike.
no. No, no, hell no. No, no. You might have got me, but hell
Yes.
no. We not talking about my brothers.
I'm clocking it, y'all. I'm doing the fingers. I'm clocking it. Cause hold on.
No, there's none to clock because
There is something to clock. That's what. But now you understand what I'm
there's
saying. From
nothing
my
to
point of
clock.
view, we're
There's
clocking
nothing to
we're clocking
clock.
my point of view. My friends are like my sisters. I hold them in the same regard. I wouldn't want my sisters marrying my spouse after I'm dead. No, I wouldn't want my friends either. Those are the same people in my head.
I'ma say we not clocking because we know scientifically same genetics, that leads to complications. That's what I'm saying. Now, that's not the only reason, but I'm also saying
Ain't no
it's
complications. The wife is not your sibling. What complications you talking about?
no, no. Well, you're right. But if we got kids with me and then you got kids with them, it's not gonna be the same thing because our genetics is different.
It is, but it's gonna be
Yeah.
close. It's the same way like sisters can have two kids and the kids look exactly like they got two completely different partners, but they can still have cousins that look like twins. So I'm just saying that the family will look cohesive.
Hell no, 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 no. You might have
Hey,
got me there.
I'm just saying.
We might have to
Now
clip
I know
this
you
out.
also
We
mentioned
might gotta
because
clip this out. You got me, cause hell no, not with the bros, not with the real bros. Like, no, we ain't doing that.
now let's move into the jail question because that was another big one. And my theory is split with the jail thing. I think that if I made a vow to you, then I kind of have to honor that. If you get locked up, unless you make the wish and say, I'm gonna be in here rotting, move on. Okay, but that blessing has to be passed on. If it is a boyfriend and that nigga get locked up, I don't know him. Superman, he no home. I'm not riding a dime for no boyfriend.
Here.
He no home. Here. I clean now.
Superman on here. No.
Never knew you. If you are a boyfriend and you get locked up, I'm not holding shit down. I ain't make no covenant with you. I ain't make no contract with you. You will not be getting no collect calls from me. I will not be putting nothing on your books. That contract needs to be signed, sealed, and delivered if I'm gonna have to hold you down in prison. That's all I'm saying. If we ain't married, I ain't doing it. That's that on that.
Okay. You put me in the.
You gonna hold your girl down if she get locked up, Terry?
Hold on, this for all the deep cut fans.
Yeah, I don't know. Terry's over there sweating thinking about this.
Yeah, we don't got a lot of fans, but these for the deep cut fans. You put me in the bind, Nate, right here, and I ain't never seen Set It Off, but I know that.
How about Set It Off? That is what's love got to do with it?
Put me in the bind, Nate.
I'm in a bind, Nate. Oh wait, you might be right. Hold on. Am I mixing up movies?
Yeah, take both our black cards. Take both
okay.
black cards. I don't know.
You might be right.
I'm pretty sure to Set It Off. But either way, so I got caught up in the last combo. But in terms of jail, I feel more strongly. If I'm in jail for life, go ahead. Yes, I want my friend to be with my woman, because I know that's going to be taken care of, because I don't have no agency. Like, you don't have no agency if you dead, but you still, it is more visceral if you in jail.
The crazy thing is, I was just watching Joe and Jada, and they covered this, and they were talking about how in the hood this happens often. Somebody get locked up, and then somebody on the block end up with with their girl. They said, hell no, they not going for that. They said it's a bond trust cut too. They said hell no. Joe said he not fucking with that. He don't like that.
It wasn't only in a wire. It was in Menace to Society, where everybody is a big fan of. Like, he ended up with Jada Pinkett, who had the son of old boy that was in jail, that was kind of one of his OGs. So yeah, that's very firmly in the black community trauma and all that. So if I'm in jail for life, like assured, I'm not getting out. And he said, and then I'm
gonna take care of your girl.
Yeah, and he made fun of him and Don't Be a Menace to Society with the Wayans, but it was just like, I'm in here, bro. Like, I know you're a good dude. Take care of him. Like, I'm honestly, I'm not in the streets. I'm not planning on being in that life.
Hood rules are a little bit different. But if we're talking jail,
rules.
No, it has to be, because if you're participating in that life, you're doing it because you're living a certain lifestyle. You're not just doing it for fun.
No, but I'm saying
there's got to be hood rules. I understand it a little bit.
Abrisha, listen. If you was get like
if we in a gang and I'm
no. Listen, if you was having a good time at the club, and you driving in good old Minnesota, and these niggas driving slow, you hit them, you back in them, crash, kill these white folks, they throwing you in jail, and you ain't got to be on no hood stuff. It's just a bad timing.
A coincidental thing. Okay.
You in jail for life.
Coincidental jailing for life.
You killed 3 precious white Minnesotans. you going to jail. And so you're done. They're like, bro, you did the appeal. You going for life. So now you talking about what are your husband and your daughter gonna
I
do?
want my partner to move on. Yeah, if I'm gonna be in jail for life, why should they be out here suffering? They deserve love. Especially if I know that my partner and I are thriving as a partnership, that person has been living their life consistently with somebody at their side, and you want them to suddenly be trying to figure out life by themselves again, that sucks ass. I wouldn't want that. So
No, talk about it, because
I would
a
definitely
lot
want
of
them to find a new partner if I get locked up for life. If I
so
get
a
pinned
lot
or pinned for a crime, if I did it or didn't do it, whatever the case, I get locked up for life, I would want my partner to move on.
so a lot of people
I'm not
like,
attainable. That would just be selfish of me to be like, you gotta stay by my side.
but a lot of people, like you mentioned, think of it as like,
Like I said, on my end, if I were to choose, I'm going to ride for my partner because I also take my religion seriously. And I took an oath before God that, rich or poor, sickness and health, and all that jazz. So I am going to, but if my partner came to me and was like, I got needs, I met somebody, I'm not going to be in jail bitter like, you supposed to be here for me. I'm not attainable. You know what I'm saying? That's just selfish to me. So I'm going to say it's going to hurt me, but I'm going to say, I'm locked up for life. I think you should, yeah. You're going to have to
I'm
find a new
locked
partner.
up,
They
you
won't let
won't
me
let me
out.
out. But okay, but
So
if that partner is a close friend though.
again, I'm not going to ever ride for the close friend thing. No matter if it's death, jail, whatever is keeping us apart, don't date my friends. If I get out of the picture, find somebody else. Don't date my friends. No, I'm never going to be for that, no matter the situation. It's just weird. No. And I just know my family. My sisters would give my husband hell if he tried to pull something like that. The way they would be cursing him, the way they would not be down for that. No,
Oh,
the
I
way my
know.
mom operates, oh no, she
I
wouldn't let him
know.
get away with that.
I know. I know.
She'd be like,
Y'all
find
don't know
somebody else.
listening, but I know.
She would be like,
Y'all
find
not at the
somebody else.
cookouts.
Gonna be
Y'all
cussing
not
the
at the
friend
cookouts.
out. She's gonna be cussing him out. The grandbaby gonna get took. There's gonna be a whole bunch of happening. Something like that happen. She be like, y'all not gonna dishonor my baby like that.
All right. So, you know what's funny for all the people listening still? It connects so much back to Teyana Taylor. Y'all don't know. Brisha don't know because she ain't watched the movie. But anyway, okay. So we gonna
I
wrap
wanted to
this
see it.
up.
I was broke.
It's on. Hey, don't worry. I'm gonna slide you the password. Anyway, so the last we gonna do kind of. I'm pretty much still in it for Family Guy. Grind our gears. If there's anything that you want to get off your chest that's grinding your gears in the world, so
Yes,
I'm.
let's talk about it. I got something that's very controversial.
Oh, you want to start? Okay, I was gonna give you a
I got
chance, but
something that's got me tight.
go ahead.
As you guys have heard a few times, I'm in the greater state of Minnesota, and we are being attacked by ICE right now. They're all over impeding on our citizens' rights. They're just doing whatever the fuck they want to do while they're here. And this has brought up a lot of protests and stuff like that, and different things. And it hurts my heart to see people's realities augmented. I'm not emotionless behind this. I'm not saying that. But the amount of proving of white guilt towards your friends of color is absolutely annoying. I am tired of the pats on the back. I'm tired of the how are yous and how's your family. I'm tired of people crying at me. Baby, this is our everyday before all of this. I have been nigga my whole life. Being chastised by police, being targeted, being assumed to be a thief, stealing stores, followed, blah, 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 blah. This is our everyday reality. And I understand for y'all, it is new watching someone of your race being shot and killed and realizing that you too can now be a target is dystopian. But I don't need your allyship to be you crying in my face every day. Because this has been my everyday since my black ass got here, and my mama's everyday since she got here, and my grandma's everyday since she got here, and my great great grandma for the last 6 generations since they got here. I think that I'm fatigued with allyship at the moment. I get it. Thank you so much, y'all. I appreciate it. But don't touch me. Stop patting me on my back and asking me about, because it's new to you. This is my every single day. Before ICE was here, I was scared of my black husband going outside because George Floyd was killed here. Dante Wright was killed here. Philando Castile was killed here.
Say it.
Y'all wasn't asking me then.
Say it.
Y'all wasn't patting my back then. Y'all wasn't staking the announcement of your solidarity. The same thing happened after Kamala lost. I voted for Kamala. They just had to let me know that they were the ally. It wasn't me. I wasn't the white one. I wasn't the white person doing that. I voted for Kamala.
I'm a blue dot. I'm a blue dot. I'm a blue circle.
I don't know what happened. I don't know. White people have been white people in a long time. Please stop crying at immigrants right now that you know that you're close to. We got other shit to worry about. Keep going, doing what y'all doing. Play y'all part. Do your protesting. Speak up for people. Do the food banks. Some people have even gone as far as housing folks who, whatever. I love that. I love watching the community come together. I love people standing up against these cats doing some ruthless, unthinkable things to the community. And I know that this terror is new to y'all, but just know that we have been here a long time, and that's not what we need right now as y'all friends. Do the other work, but crying in our faces and all of that stuff, get out of here with it. Love you. Love, kisses. But stop.
And that's that on that. I got nothing to add because, as we say in the sacred community, point blank, period. Pooh.
Period.